I'm starting to wonder what's okay to even talk about when it comes to covering the people that quote unquote work in the video game industry. The latest incident regarding a certain games journalist over at Kotaku seems to have been opening the doors to allow people to cover her once again. And I'm starting to wonder why she feels like, one, she's allowed to manipulate and tell people what you're allowed to talk about and what you're not, and two, tell people when it's okay you can talk about them after they've told you you can't talk about them. It's almost like they're trying really hard to control a narrative that ultimately, at the end of the day, isn't theirs. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Alyssa Mercante, the same person that sent a cease and desist because she was upset that I was covering the things that she was saying online in relation to the video game industry and how things that she said can and will be held against her when covering her in the future. And instead of internalizing that and trying to be better moving forward, she lashed out, got upset, and tried everything she could to silence me. Enter the latest events, where Alyssa Mercante has now taken to Twitter to say that it is okay to talk about her, and it seems like she is done fighting this battle. And I'd like to think Alyssa would have learned this by now, that what she says in the public square is something that, if it's interesting enough, people will converse about it, they will talk about it, and they will hold you to a standard that you hold yourself to. But if you try to control the narrative, manipulate how people think, and get upset when anyone talks about you, you're gonna have a bad time. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Alyssa Mercante, everyone's favorite Kotaku gaming journalist, has taken to Twitter with the simple tweet of saying, "You keep making those videos," with a smiley face. And honestly, I couldn't be happier to see it. It's almost like a truce has been reached. She realized she had no case, and she is backing down, letting everyone talk about her again. Almost sounds like she's desperate for the attention. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full article talking about how Alyssa Mercante has declared open season on talking about her. And it's been a while since I've felt this free. On Twitter, like I said earlier, Alyssa Mercante said, "You keep making those videos," with a smiley face. And I quote tweeted it, "Will do. I'll let Ron Coleman know you're giving everyone your blessing. So we are good to go now. Thanks. Looks like we're in the clear, boys." Everyone's super pumped about this. The tweet is going viral. And it's like, yeah, of course. She realized she didn't have a case from Jump Street. And it's a big sigh of relief from everyone. Not that we felt like we were going to lose any court cases she tried throwing our way, but more just the stress and anxiety and frustration that she'd been dealing with by pushing this all on us. It wasn't fair to us. It wasn't worth it. And I'm glad to see she's come to her senses and backed off. Emerald Apple said, well, she was realizing that she was just being scammed by her lawyer to pursue something that was not winnable. Anonymous wrote, she wants you to be successful. That's very nice and supportive of her. Evil Alyssa Mercante said, this is the worst month for her. Shot down by Hassan, started an unwinnable lawsuit with you, and even got roasted by a game company CEO in the nicest way possible. And that tweet being in reference to Alyssa Mercante trying to call out Thomas Mahler, the director and head of Moon Studio, where she said, "You're a bleephead." And Thomas replied, "I don't even know who you are." And Sonata wrote, it's been what, 50 days since she sent her cease and desist letter? She's not going to sue after all of her harassing social media diarrhea. Hypnotic said, where is the lawsuit against Smash JT? Question mark, question mark. The entire gaming industry was waiting and riding on you as their champion against the chuds. The shills on Twitter called you their leader. At least this was the story you sold anyway, so where is it? And it goes on and on and on from there. The community is very joyous right now that it feels like free speech has been returned to the gamers and people are allowed to say what they want to say once again. And it's all thanks to fighting back, standing our ground and saying, no, we're not going to get pushed around just because we're reporting on a situation. It's not harassment when you act like a complete jackass on social media. It's basically like, here's a car accident, everyone look at it and watch it burn. Now, I'm sure people can look at this and be like, well, obviously it's in jest and she didn't mean it the way she did. But no, I'm looking at this as a situation where she said something and she realized, oh, wait, now I don't have any leverage anymore. Ah, crap, I shouldn't have said it like that. And it's like, well, This is exactly what gets you in trouble, Alyssa. People misunderstand your miscommunication because your word wizardness sometimes twists your own tongue. For those who aren't familiar, Alyssa has started her own Twitch channel. Many are assuming it's because she sees the sinking ship that is Kotaku and she's trying to find a life raft for survival. But after watching some of her own Twitch channel, I'm just like, yeah, nope. This ain't it either.
You're looking at the queen of wearing inappropriate shit to work. Because I'm a being journalist and I don't like meet clients and I'm not like forward facing at all. Like I just come in to do my job and sit at a computer all day and I surf cunt. Like, so no, I never wear a bra. But like, even I know you don't wear fishnets in the office.
Now we all understand you're an activist, you push your ideologies on everyone, and when we reject them, you get really angry and throw a temper tantrum, and it's the same cycle we go through every day with you, Alyssa. But here's the thing, gamers are not going to submit to you. We're not gonna one day wake up and be like, oh, now I get it. I see the light of this woke ideologies, and now I want to be like Alyssa.
I think it's not a coincidence that this is all happening during an election year and the fervor is as intense as it is. I think that the way that people speak about me and other women and queer folks and people of color in the space is very indicative of what's the real issue here. And the real issue is not DEI, it's not forced wokeism, it's people who have long been the dominant group in whatever industry, be it games, be it movies, be it elsewhere, feeling the effects of no longer just being number one for the sake of being number one because they're white and straight and male, and not liking the fact that they actually have to work to prove their worth, and not enjoying the fact that other people are getting a seat at the table. And at the end of the day, I've said this before and I'll say it again, it's rooted in hate, it's rooted in sexism, it's rooted in racism, it's rooted in homophobia, misogyny, transphobia, all of those things.
Reality is, people are rejecting it wholeheartedly, and the more you try to push it on them, the harder they fight back. And in reality, watching your Twitch channel, just being honest, in my humble opinion, it sucks balls. Which some people, I don't know, might like that.
This is at least an attempt at something inspired. Do I love it? No, I hate the skirt, but fired immediately.
But hey, we all got to start somewhere, and I don't want to try to completely trash her because, hey, it's her own endeavor, and maybe she'll get better with time. But here's the thing. Ultimately, when it comes to her trying to grow her brand, it's not going to go anywhere because people already know who she is. And if you're going to grow your brand, you need to be someone that connects with your audience, where people can feel relating to you, and they want to come to you, and they want to be a part of your community. You've done anything but that, and because of that, you're only going to get more pissed off as time goes on. And I'm here for it. I'm going to grab the popcorn and maybe I'll stop by your Twitch and watch it once in a while just to laugh at you.
You think that in these situations that we're playing a game of chess, right? That the people that they deem to be the woke left, or in this case journalists, are having a conversation or trying to have some sort of back and forth with these detractors, these right-wing reactionaries, these grifters, right? We are not playing chess. They are the pigeon shitting on the chessboard. They are not subscribing to the same rules, the same logic. They're not holding themselves to the same level of accountability that they're demanding for other people. And it's kind of a lost cause. Like,
I hope you enjoy my feelings on the situation, because honestly, the great thing about living in this country is the freedom of speech that we all enjoy, including the freedom of press. And that's something I would like to think you, Alyssa, would know better than anyone. And because Alyssa's being so kind and letting people make videos about her again, let's talk about what she said the other day on Twitter. If someone locks their account, it's because they're being harassed, and you celebrating that makes you an a-hole, you effing turkeys. Okay, nope. If someone locks their account in the public square, it's because they said something that was so stupid that the entire community was like, hey, let's actually check you to make sure you don't say something like that again. I see so many of these chuds going around. Ha ha ha, they locked their account. They don't owe you and certainly don't need to face heaps of anonymous harassment that you sent there. This isn't a difficult concept to grasp, but you're all cruel, so I guess it's not surprising. Which is fascinating because this is coming from the same Alyssa Mercante that tried to throw heaps of criticism and harassment at Thomas Mahler of Moon Studios because you didn't like him and you called him a, straight up your words, a kid. Don't you think your audience of chuds that are following you are not going to try to harass Thomas Mahler after you do that? It's almost like you only see things from your perspective and have no idea what you put out there comes right back to you. Here's a suggestion. Get a life. I'm off to watch Housewives and maybe get laid. Peace, dorks. There's something wrong with this person. They always fall back to something sexual. Like, it's almost like their way to own other people. Like, hey, I'm getting laid. I suck dick to get into the game industry. I'm a whore. I did all these awful things. And then you say, hey, you did those things. Oh my God, you're getting a lawsuit. Cease and desist. Where's my lawyer? This person's the worst person in the world for saying the same things that I said on Twitter. This is the problem. Rules for me, not for thee. The mantra of Alyssa Mercante. Ironically, all of that stemming from her previous tweet saying, I don't support all gamers. Most of you are bigots. This coming from a senior editor at a gaming outlet, at Kotaku. I know, gaming outlet. Just stay with me here. This person writes gaming articles, okay? Loosely based. I know, I get it. But again, just stay with me. She doesn't like you, okay? You enjoy gaming. You enjoy the game industry. You enjoy the game companies that are making these games for you to enjoy. She's not about that. If you don't agree with her ideologies, you are the problem. You're a bigot, and she doesn't support you, which she claims is most of the game community that she works for. I'm trying to make sense of this, guys. I really am. And who she's referencing with going into protected mode and running and hiding is Alexa Ray Correa, one of her friends in the game industry. And I found that out via a tweet that was shared with me on how she's clearly a feminist and doesn't want men in the game industry, saying that men should not be allowed to speak. And of course, parroting exactly what Alyssa Mercante feels about men as well. All men are enemies. Who on her Twitter bio says writer, narrative designer, and professional yapper for video games, TV, literature, now senior writer, Marvel × EA's Black Panther plus Secrets. So someone who literally works directly in the game industry said something that had to protect her account. What was it that she said? Need this on a shirt. Okay. So again, someone in the game industry parroting what someone else in the game industry is saying that they hate the gamers buying the games. These are the people that we need to work to get out of the industry. They don't like you, they don't want you here, and they don't like video games. They say it right to your face. And Alexa Ray Correa could not be more stupid, being in the position that she's in, saying the things that she says on Twitter, and then thinking she's not going to get any backlash for it. I know I've said it so many times at this point that it feels like I'm blue in the face saying the same thing over and over and over again. But I'm going to keep saying it until these people leave. They are not gamers. They will lie to your face. They will pretend to care about gaming, but at the end of the day, they are feminists. They are agenda pushers. They are Marxists. They are communists. They don't care about the state of the world. If anything, they want to see it all burn. And these are the same types of people that will stop at nothing to get their way. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Again, shout out to Alyssa Mercante for finally coming to her senses and realizing that she had no case, nothing she could say or do to stop anyone from talking about her because she's a publicly facing figure. She puts herself out there, and it's fair game for everyone to say whatever the hell they want to. Just like anyone can make videos on me. And do, and try to say bad things about me. But you know what? It doesn't stick because everyone knows it's not true. But then again, if stuff is true about you, maybe it does stick. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that join button. And as always, you stay smashing.
I'm not going to say, Lonnie, and I want to know if you can figure it out. Would I have preferred better done home, Lance Henderson, or just a new face? I mean, I preferred a live actor. Like, you know, I just think that, like, the bringing back of, like, dead actors is, like, I don't know. It's just... I always find that to just be a little fucking sussy. Smash and smash and